use these concepts, but I hope to give you some things about why we use them and when we use them. All right? I don't think I'm going to recreate any dang scenarios here that maybe anybody's used. But I want to tell you from a game planning standpoint when we use these and what we're thinking. So I'm going to go into my offensive coordinator mode right now. All right? Even though I'm still a head coach, I love going through the game planning and still being involved in the game planning and be able to use my experience over 25 years to be able to help our coaches. Okay? So the first thing that I want to talk about, especially if you're, I see sometimes that because you're a 12 personnel team or a 21 personnel team, you go, well, man, can I use RPOs? Yeah, you can. All right, there'll be single receiver RPOs the majority of the time, or slot formation RPOs. But the first thing I'm going to bring up here is one of the things that we always do coming out. Okay, I've always believed that when you're coming out or going in, the coverages are very simple, Simon. All right. Usually when you're coming out, what does a defensive coordinator not want to have happen? He does not want to get beat what? He does not want to get beat deep. Okay? So the majority of the time you're going to see some type of cover 3, some type of cover 4, and it's usually going to be soft. They're going to tell those guys, play off, be alert for the shot. Because when you're down there, you're only getting a couple things. You're getting run game, you're getting quick game, you're getting max play action pass, trying to throw it deep. All right? That's usually what's coming out there from out there. But one of the things I think that comes about is when you have the availability for the quarterback and two-back run game to be able to throw, we always, coming out from -10 out, it doesn't matter what run is inside, we will always tag nows on what we call nows on the outside. And a lot of time it's double nows. And what we're trying to do is just create softness right here with motion. Create softness with motion to get this guy's feet not in cement, make him soft, make him scared to death. Create 5 to 6 yards of separation and put the ball out. If I was to tell you you're on the -10 or further closer to the goal line, and I said, hey, you could get 5 yards on first down, how many people would take it right now? I would take it immediately. I'd want more, but I'd take it right now, just to gain space. I see so many times people get under center and they do the quarterback sneak and they gain like 3 inches. And now it's 2nd and 9 and a bunch of inches. Right? I'd rather be right here, have the two-back run game, and be able to say, hey, Q, if you want to go ahead and hand this off, you can. This is the simple duo play that we normally run. This is a power without the puller, and then be able to throw the nows outside. And be able to make it a one-on-one tackle drill, and this usually is what happens. You get 7, 8, 9 yards, and you're out of there. Here it is again, a little bit of a return motion, 12 personnel run game, double nows. Quarterback has the opportunity to throw it to either side. I know that's an ugly 7 or 8 yards, but that feels damn good. 2nd and 1 and 2 feels damn good. Here's simple 12 personnel. We've got double nows on both sides. Alert cover 3 right here. And this is a big thing to me, is making sure that our kids understand what we call get the team 4. See, when we make this catch, we always teach our guys that we'll work this drill. We'll have a defender placed right here. We'll have a cone on the sideline. We tell them to get the ball in the outside arm as fast as you can and run to that cone with great pad level. Put the ball in your outside hand so you can use your weapon. All right? We call it use our weapon. So I can get that right there. So I make sure I always fall forward. I always get the team 4 to 5 yards to make it 2nd and 5. The other thing that I'll say about that too, and I don't have a clip of it going in, but we use it a lot going in to the plus side. Because what do DBs love to do from the 10-yard line and in? A lot of time they're taught that fade technique, where their heels are sitting on the goal line, and you're on the +8. Man, what a great opportunity to just sling it out there and say, okay, one-on-one tackle drill. Let's see if we can get to the goal line on 1st and 10. If you're seeing a fade technique team 2, it's a great opportunity to use that. Next thing is this, is our 2- and 3-man stacking principles. And one of the things that I'd like with the stack, compared to the just 2-by-2 spread, and I played the quarterback position, have taught the quarterback position, what happens when we first originally did all the RPOs, what was everybody doing? We all bubbled, right? The problem with bubbling, in my opinion, is this. Everybody does it different. Every kid runs a different bubble. And it is so hard for the quarterback to gauge, okay, oh, he got a little bit deeper. He went a little bit flatter. Coach's dog cussing me for not being accurate. When you stack it, two things happen. One, from an alignment standpoint, think about where the inside receiver is in 2-by-2 that bubbles. Is he helping the linebacker by alignment, or is he hurting him? He's really helping him because he's closer. When you stack and get wider, that inside receiver is wider in 2-by-2. So it puts more pressure on these defenders to get outside the box. Now he's outside the box. Now we can be in single combination up to number 4 on inside zone. And what do you get to do backside? Now you get to man. Because instead of that wide out being right about there in 2-by-2 and him being able to stack a little bit further in the box, the stack out here by the two receivers forces him to leave the box. It got the inside receiver even wider. It made an easier throw for the quarterback also. Plus, the corner can't cut a stack. He can't cut it. All right? He can't blow it up. But now you're able to go and man the backside because the backer left the box and create space. The other thing that I love about the 2-by-2 stack, especially with it wide, is it forces, again, these guys to make a decision. And one of the things you got to remember, especially versus field defenses, all right? Notre Dame is a field defense, which means they'd love to have the shade and the 5 to the field at all times, and the 3 and the 5 into the boundary. Under front to the field, always. But one of the things that happens, and remember this for the quarterback, is when you play a field defense, that man has gap integrity and gap responsibility. What gap is he responsible for? He's got what does he have? He has that gap. Are you kidding me? There's no way you could go cover that gap and cover a stack that is way out there. There's no way. And the quarterback, and especially when the back is away, and watch this right here. So when the back is away, he knows he owns that gap. So the quarterback already knows by just flashing and being able to work the field, he's put him in a gap integrity issue right now. He owns the B gap. We got a 2-on-1 situation. Great job running to your spot. Believing in your buddy. Don't go where he's at. Go where he's going to be. Watch the release by the point. Perfect. Now run to your spot. Run to your spot. Run to your spot. Good. And make the cut off of it. Beautiful. One more. Again, what ends up happening when you have these stacks, and I love it when two men are in the same gap, it helps it even more. But it allows you to go ahead and man the backside and truly create even bigger running lanes. Now, one of the things I will say to this, and this is another way off a two-man stack. Don't be scared, especially in the red zone. All right, especially in the red zone. Because usually from the 20 in, especially in college, I don't know if you see it, we really only see 2 coverages going in. We see some sort of man or some sort of what we call red 4, quarters. Everybody plays the same thing. The problem with quarters coverage, if you're playing a quarters team and you put the formation into the boundary in 3-by-1, is this. They usually tell the backside safety, what is he doing right now? Who's he trying to help? He's trying to help his buddy over here, isn't he? All right? He's trying to double up. Who is he responsible for? Why is his eyes right there? That's his quarter's responsibility, right? That's his quarter's responsibility, is he's got to have eyes on number 2, and if he presses off vertical, I own him. But what it does is this. By putting the 3-by-1 formation into the boundary and stacking it, we've got 6 blockers, they've got 6 defenders, and we put you in a gap integrity issue. We're reading off you, but more importantly, by putting the formation in the boundary, we took both support players out of the game. because the field safety is nowhere in view, is he? Nowhere. If we were in 2x2, he'd be sitting right there. But in 3x1, he's going to expand to help his brother. Over here, look at his eyeballs. He's engaged. He's got no hope. So now it just makes it an easy read off to Sam. We've eliminated both support players, and now a safety can't make a play. And instead of a 4 to 5 yard run, now we're scoring touchdowns because we've eliminated the support players. So don't be afraid to put the stack into the boundary, especially in the red zone at a 3x1. Here's another FIB formation. Again, absolutely love this because it takes safeties out of play. I know we always think, hey, stay status quo, but the beauty about what we have in high school and college is our hash marks and the ability to be able to gain space. Matter of fact, the only time I'd put this on here, but this is really the only time we do bubble, is being able to bubble from what we call a spandex alignment or a squeeze down alignment. And I do like it because you end up garnering, getting support players out of the way. By that, it makes these guys so soft in the run game. Can't fill the backside. All right, and 3 receiver stack, okay, and this is an unbelievable formation for 3 receivers, okay, for 3 receiver stack. Anytime that we have 3 receiver stack, we're going to allow the point man to block the alley. We're going to have the inside receiver block the corner. You're going to run to your spot. For the quarterback, in a 2x2 stack, he's always trying to read the second defender from outside in. In a 3x3 stack, in a 3 receiver stack, he's always trying to read where's the third defender at. We always count the corner. We always count any man within 7 yards. So he should count 1, 2. It's gray, but I probably would have counted him because we got strong side run game here with only 1 defender backside. So even though this worked out, and I put this on for just the blocking scheme, good job capturing the outside shoulder, good job going to get the corner, run to my spot, cut off of it, and make yards. Now that was nice. But here's our rookie quarterback, and I'm going to tell him, okay, let's count. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Guess what happens over here? They don't have enough. This is a great formation to do 3x. A lot of times I see a bunch of 3x1 and 4 wides, but when you put the nub tight end into the boundary and put the 3 receivers to the field in the stack, your strong side run game, you get to an easy dictation of what you want to get done because all the quarterback has to do is how many defenders, where is that safety? If he is back there and they've got 3 defenders down, man, please, let's go work the run game. Let's make corners make tackles, all right? Let's make corners make tackles. And don't make the running back mad, please. When we do, a lot of times I would include this too, is it's amazing how many times motion, when you use motion to create the 3 receiver stack, all right? It's amazing how many defenders that you could get pulled away. Watch his eyes, not even involved, is he? All of a sudden, if I was in that 3 receiver stack, where his eyes may have been a little bit further back inside, maybe he comes in and makes a play quicker, but all of a sudden you use a little bit of motion and use the exact same blocking scheme. There's 1, there's 2 to the corner. Be able to throw it out there if you want to. Quarterback, let's count again. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, hand the ball off. And you're taking people out of the picture. Another one right here, use of motion. Same blocking scheme. Get people's eyes. They're checking. Their eyes aren't there. Eyes. Just a little use of motion, same blocking scheme, and now you're creating space for the runner. So don't be afraid to use a little motion. You don't have to just stack it each and every time. Matter of fact, anytime we do use the bubble, again, usually we're motioning out of the backfield with it. The one thing I will say is if you want, and I threw this on here, and this has been really good for us. Instead of the old 3x1 bubble scheme, you know what's a lot easier to throw and it's more hidden and it gives a little bit of love to your tight end, is being able to throw the tight end to arrow where the bubble would have taken place. So instead of a receiver being here and bubbling, the tight end gets hidden a lot of times, and we love this concept. Quarterback, 3 receiver screen. There's 1, there's 2. Your read is off the 3rd defender. What does he do? He bites, put the ball out in space. Big man can run, it's hard to tackle. A little tight end love right there. All right, next thing, I'm just going to get into some of these real fast. Is the last part I want to just be able to talk about is the ability to use quick game, all right? And not always, when we first started off in doing the RPOs, we all thought, okay, hey, let's throw the smoke screen, the bubbles. What we have really gotten into, we are calling more quick game and verticals off our RPOs now, even more than the perimeter screens, okay? So I'll give you a great example here. So right now, we're in a stack. We do a lot of our drop back routes out of stack. You saw even our smoke screens out of stack. But some of the great things out of this is the ability to give the quarterback some multiple options outside. So what we've got here is we have the availability for the point man to run the big, what we call the big fade, which is the numbers fade right here, all right? The outside receiver has a hitch, and the inside receiver has the inside seam, where he's trying to capture. See that beautiful grass right there? Is that beautiful? That's what we want to be able to capture. Sometimes, even, and I'll say this, if you can go ahead and use some of your gap schemes in your RPO, I'm going to show you how it helps. And if you use your gap schemes and man the backside with the tackle, you'll even make it an even bigger throwing lane for the quarterback by not having a guy in his face. So we've got a quarterback right now that we don't want to run. He's not a tremendous runner. He's athletic, but he's not a running quarterback. He's a throwing quarterback. And we don't want the kid hurt. So what we end up doing is, remember that pin with the puller we ran earlier in this game? We ran pin with the pull. Now we're running the same scheme, pin with the pull. Who are we trying to manipulate right now? We're trying to manipulate this backer, and this is what the quarterback's reading. We've manned the backside, and look what the pull scheme does, not only to him, but more importantly, look what it does to the safety. Zone scheme is nice, but when you pull big fat guys, everybody in the park runs. Everybody. I don't care if it's one back power, I don't care if it's pin and pull, everybody runs. And then all of a sudden, not only did you capture that grass, Lord have mercy, that makes it easy. So, quarterback's got a great opportunity. It's a slot formation, Q. Corner is not over. In slot formation, corner's over, you're automatic man, you know you got big receiver fade. Corner is not over. Great. You got one of two throws. You've either got the inside seam or the outside hitch. If it's any gray area, hand it to a good back. Please throw this one. This would be nice. Beautiful. We love the availabilities to tag hitches on things instead of trying to capture, sometimes try to capture just bubble throws. I like the hitches when you're seeing a lot of cover 3 and they're not. We would never take a bubble throw right here, would we, guys? Or a smoke screen. There's one, there's two. It's a 2 receiver. But would you possibly throw an easy hitch out there versus a loaded box? Yeah, all the time. You could easily take that. Quarterback, if all of a sudden you feel like it's too high, you want to hand it, go ahead and hand it if it's gray. But tagging these hitches are nice also. Gives you the opportunity to really even get, and what we end up doing too, guys, is we'll go hitch with fade conversions on it, and now it becomes your fade throw in the red zone. So all of a sudden we get too high, cover 4, man, hand it off, quarterback. You get one high in the red zone, man, throw the big fade for the touchdown. Take that opportunity. Usually what you see when we do this with this scheme, we're usually protecting both edges. So here's inside zone with a slider blocking the backside with hitch fade conversions on the outside. And get to one of the throws. So here's a great example. Man coverage Q, you got it. Go ahead and put it up. Put it up to a good receiver. Now instead of a loaded box, cover 0, now we're handing it off into that situation. We end up scoring touchdowns. Love it out of this formation. I think it absolutely dictates, and I'll show you a great example. Let me show you one right here. I think it's really easy for the quarterback to be able to sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to manipulate, again, the inside guy. I've got 3 hitches on the outside. I can take any of the 3 at any time, or hand the ball off. And if you've got good receivers that make yards after the catch, hopefully that's what ends up happening. But the hitches are nice. And then I would always make sure, guys, I don't know if you're seeing it, but we're seeing it a little bit. DBs, remember in the gun, in quick game, they started reading when the quarterback caught the ball and immediately turned. They read quick game and they're sitting on it. Well, the other thing that's ended up happening now is DBs are reading as soon as the ball is stuck out, sit. It's either smoke screen or quick game. So they're treating that motion by the quarterback as RPO quick game, and they're sitting. And some of your best double moves will be off your RPO quick game. All right, is being able to all of a sudden, you've thrown hitch a couple times out there, go ahead and do the token, and double move off of it, and you'll have big plays with their eyes in the backfield. Some of the other things I'll just briefly run through, the ability to run the inside, what we call Omahas, instead of the bubble throw, where all of a sudden I'm counting on you blocking, now I'm reading off that same backer, manipulating him, and throwing the out cut. We believe in going through the inside shoulder. You see what number 6 is doing up top here? He's protecting the throw. He will never let that guy trigger in it. He's always going through his inside shoulder. We call it an inside bus ticket. That means get through your inside shoulder or you're riding the bus back home from Oregon. All right? Protect that throw. All right? Inside bus ticket. And this is one of my favorite ones, is what we call Dallas, which is inside slant with outside hitch fade conversion. Really like this first outside leverage cover 1 or outside leverage cover 3. All right? And show you just a quick couple shots of this. Is the ability either to capture the inside slant right there, or the availability to throw the hitch fade conversion outside. You can even do it from the stack position. Slant with hitch. Yep. Double slant with hitch outside. Dallas again, inside slant, outside hitch fade conversion. Great cover 1, great cover 3 RPO. Let me get good look right here. Outside leverage, easy pitch and catch. Get to the next concept since I'm running out of time. Reno for us is just is arrow slant, trying to capture a 1 high instead of just old slant arrow combination. What we end up doing is we're going to end up RPOing off of it. He can always take it if he wants. And then the last one here, guys, is what we call Ohio. Ohio's a nice concept too. Ohio is inside hitch with outside speed cut. Good versus cover 3, good versus cover 4. Good example of it. Especially when teams are trying to collision the verticals in cover 3 or cover 1. If they're collision verticals, it's easy balls outside. But it's going to, and I've always gone back and I said, okay, off these, are we being efficient? And it's amazing. We were 86% efficient, 86% efficient this year off our RPO quick game. And it averaged 9.1. 86% efficient, a 9.1 average per call this year. So it was really, really effective for us. Last thing I'll give you guys is, like I promised you, and this tape goes on forever. Oh, I'll say this. Let me show you this one before I go. If your quarterback, and this is, and I finally got to the point where all of a sudden we got towards the end of the season, and quarterback got really, really efficient in the RPO game, and you saw the Dallas, and you saw the Houston, you saw the Ohio, you saw the Omaha. Well, at the end of the year, we started what we would call the inside run, we would call the run game, and then we would tag eyes. And that meant quarterback, you got it. Based off coverage and based off leverage, you give the quick game outside. So he would see coverage and leverage, and he would look out there and give it. He would look out there and give it. He would give the route combination based off what he wanted rather than, and him getting the pencil last, rather than me being in a guessing game as a play caller. But those eye situation, and this is one of them, is all of a sudden the quarterback, he's got his call out here. He looks out, he sees inside leverage. He gives what we call our Omaha tag, and he goes ahead and calls it. So if your quarterback gets really efficient with it, you could just call the inside run, give him eyes, and let him call the hitch fade conversion. Let him signal the outcut. Let him signal inside slant hitch. Let him signal inside hitch with the outside outcut. Okay? Those are the things I think if he gets really good and you get really good in a spring and a fall camp that your quarterback can do.